What is up, guys? And today I'm doing what if Naruto had Gojo's powers. And basically, for any people who are wondering about my OP Know Me What If, that will be. I'll probably have that uploaded tomorrow. Depends if I record it today and schedule it, or just record it and upload it. It just really depends on me. So basically, in this what if, we're just gonna go to the Nine Tails attack when Naruto was born. Naruto would have silver blonde hair, which is basically, it looks like Gojo has white hair, but he has silver blonde hair, and really, um, infinite blue eyes. Like you could just stare at them forever. Basically, after this, Kushina would be pretty surprised, but she wouldn't mind since, you know, Gojo just be kind of handsome, I guess. Um, After this, Naruto would basically still have his parents would still die in the Nine Tails attack, basically saving him. But we already know that. So basically, when Naruto's growing up, he would pretty much live a similar normal life. But one day, he'd be pretty much jumped by the villagers, or if you guys know what jumped means, attacked when he was 8 years old. And one person, one of the mob would try to stab their uh, sharp object towards his face, but for some reason Naruto didn't want it to reach him. But he would close his eyes and be ready for impact. But the thing is, his the sharp object, or a kunai-ish thing, would basically just stop, and nobody would understand since the villager actually tried to stab him, and he's really trying. You could see the veins coming out of his wrist, not coming out, but you can see he's really trying to stab Naruto. Naruto would use his advantage to basically dodge to the right and basically try to punch him. You would think this would be a pretty weak punch, but for some reason the villager got sent back flying. After this, Naruto realized he probably awakened a new power, and basically proceeds to kick the villager's ass. I know, 8-year-old Naruto actually whooping ass. I don't know about that one, but after this, Naruto basically proceeds to try to figure out his abilities. He starts studying in the library and tries to find out any jutsu that's related to this. But for some reason, every time he'd be studying, he would get memories of someone who looked just like him, which this would be Satoru, and he would start to learn techniques slowly and slowly. And basically, this would go on for the next 4 or 5 years. And basically, today would be the day of the graduation exam, and Naruto would pretty much just put on the Jujutsu Kaisen drip, the uniform, since this is the only outfit I know that's actually drippy and that actually Gojo wears, and that's really acceptable for the time back then. After this, Naruto would basically put on some shades, since I don't think people would be normal with him wearing a blindfold. He would basically put on some shades because really he can't take them off, only maybe for a short amount of times. And I don't know if you guys watched Broken Ronin's video, but he says that Gojo will become a cursed spirit if he doesn't wear his blindfold. Or that's what the title says. I haven't really explored the video, but I'm incorporating this in my what if, to try and I guess get some nice plot here. But basically, Naruto would put on the drip and basically head to the academy. And when he would walk into the academy, you would basically look around, and all the seats are full, or almost full, since he didn't want to sit with weird people or something like that, or weak people in his eyes. You would see Sasuke and realize this guy has the most potential out of all these students, excluding him since he's the strongest. That's what he says anyway. Naruto would proceed to just sit next to Sasuke, and pretty much for the next hour or 30 minutes, they would pretty much be waiting for the sensei before Ino and Sakura basically run in trying to sit with Sasuke, but to realize Naruto is sitting there. Sakura would get pretty mad and tell Naruto to get out of the seat in her banshee-like voice. After this, Naruto would refuse, really bluntly, kind of like Zether does when he sees my thumbnails. But oh, hey, oh. All right, just kidding though. But Sakura would try to throw a punch at him, but the thing is, her fist would just stop, and Naruto wouldn't even care. He would just pretend he didn't even see anything. He would just keep looking forward towards towards the or the teacher really presents himself, and like Sakura would be towards the right. So like it would be like she never even like did anything. After this, Sakura would get annoyed and try to punch him like many times with her inner hollow, basically. Like she has like an inner Sakura. I don't know if that's her inner hollow. This is like mystery confirmed. Sakura has an inner hollow. But just kidding. After this, Naruto would just like look to the right and say that you can't hit me because you're too weak. After this, Sakura would basically just huff and give up and basically walk to another seat. After this, Sasuke would ask Naruto what kind of technique was that. Naruto would tell him that that was one of his techniques he came up with. It's called Limitless, or those are one of the techniques in it. Side note, I haven't really read the manga for the Shibuya, so that Limitless explained in 3 minutes by Rogex really helped. But other than that, Naruto would tell him that it's basically an ability where he puts Kuroko chakra in, and like neutral amount of chakra, creating a barrier around him called infinity. Basically, anyone who tries to hit him, there'll be like an infinite amount of fractions in the air or in the space between them and his target. So let's say I try to throw a punch, it's like punching through infinite amount of space. You can't actually punch through that, so you'll stop at some point. So yeah, that's Naruto would basically explain that to Sasuke. Sasuke would tell him that he's pretty strong and that he wants to be rivals with him. Naruto would look over to him and be pretty surprised. Not surprised, but like surprised that somebody like as weak as Sasuke would want to challenge him. Naruto would tell him, if you awaken your Sharingan, I'll train you. My bad. Sasuke would pretty much be excited, since maybe this is a way for him to get stronger to kill Itachi. After this, the conversation would be cut short when Iruka would walk in and explain the team process, being Team 7 being Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. After this, Sasuke would low key kind of be excited, inside. He wouldn't really show it, but he'd be pretty surprised. My bad, excited. After this, everyone's Jonin Sensei would come in, like Asuma and Kurenai. Oh yeah, there's only two, since Guy's team is already assembled. Asuma and Kurenai would pretty much come on there and bring their teams out, or like take their teams to like introduce them, I guess. After this, Gojo or Naruto basically would realize that their sensei is late, and he would just put his head down and sleep. After this, he would wake up and see Kakashi, like he would wake up to Sasuke like lightly tapping him, and like telling him to wake up, and Naruto would get up and basically see Kakashi, and he would pretty much go up to him and say, oh, yeah, "Are we like twin brothers or related?" Because I didn't know anyone had similar hair color to me. Kind of similar to like the the Naruto fans who say Jujutsu Kaisen's a ripoff of their show, which is cap. But after that, Team 7, I guess, not really Team 7 yet, would pretty much hear Kakashi tell him that they should head to the roof. Naruto would basically just walk up the stairs, since he hasn't really learned his teleportation technique yet, and he doesn't really want to show the technique yet. Naruto would pretty much just like really quickly or slowly, I guess, walk up the stairs, and they would get up the stairs to see Kakashi explain to them about the Team 7, and telling them to meet him at the training grounds tomorrow at 8 a.m. and telling them that they should not eat or they'll throw up, he says in a demonic voice, or strenuous voice. After this, Sakura would be the only one that'd be pretty scared and know not to eat. After this, after this event would take place, Sasuke would tell Naruto if he can help him awaken his Sharingan. Naruto would pretty much nod, and since Naruto's like the 6 eyes itself, that's like a dojutsu itself, pretty much. So maybe he can give some insight to Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke would walk to the Uchiha training ground, since only Sasuke was allowed, and this was convenient for them, since they could have a time alone. Not like that, but they don't want anyone bothering them during their training. After this, Naruto would basically teach him how to awaken his Sharingan, telling him since he read up about the Sharingan, basically seeing that it's based on negative emotions. After this, Naruto would basically kind of keep taunting Sasuke about the Uchiha massacre, about letting his family die. After hours of literally taunting him, you would basically see Sasuke, like they would be fighting, and Naruto would be taunting him. And Sasuke would finally awaken his like one Tomoe Sharingan. And Naruto would tell him that he awakened his Sharingan and that the test went, like his experiment went pretty good. As Aizen would say, it went all according to plan. But after this, Naruto would congratulate Sasuke on his awakening of the Sharingan and tells him if he can deactivate it and activate it. Sasuke would focus chakra out of his eyes and then focus it back into his eyes, and he would awaken his Sharingan. After this, it would be around like 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. And Naruto would tell Sasuke that he really needs to read up on the scrolls of Uchiha, since you need to awaken your Sharingan to read them. And, why not learn some techniques that the Uchiha has left behind from Naruto? Basically throw some scrolls that Shisui and Itachi basically had in general. They didn't give them to Sasuke, but they still had some scrolls. Sasuke would say he doesn't want to learn any techniques that Itachi learned, and Naruto would basically tell him that if your brother's stronger than you, why not learn what your brother learned and what Shisui learned? Since Shisui is stronger than Itachi, or at the time before, like when Itachi killed the clan, Shisui was stronger than him. Because we saw in the Ninja Storm 4, Shisui and Itachi fought or not like major fought, but like they fought like taijutsu and Shisui won. But basically, after this, Sasuke would realize that he shouldn't be petty and start to like learn more, not to be like narrow-minded with his goals. Since he realized he still needs to kill Itachi. But after this, Naruto would say goodbye to Sasuke before heading to his apartment, which he has tried his best to clean up. But it's not like it looks like in canon. It's a little more spotless, kind of like how Sasuke's home looks like. And he can encounter part when Kakashi and Hiruzen kind of like visit the place when they're like pretty much assembling the team. After this, Naruto would basically just get in his bed and fall asleep. After thinking to himself about the long day he had gone through, Naruto the next day would wake up and eat some breakfast. I guess eat some eggs and bacon. I guess I don't know, and some water. So I like water, and not gonna lie, water and lemon is bussing. But other than that, Naruto would basically get ready for the day to come, and he would head out of the house at around 9:30. Since earlier that day, he told Sasuke that he should pretty much head to the training grounds at around 10, or like be there at 10. Naruto would then walk through the village and basically be chilling, and he would basically head to the training grounds. I don't know why I'm repeating myself. I really need to like practice my voice to try and get better at making what ifs, since the what if I made yesterday, it was like better than my other ones where like you guys could barely hear me, but the one I made yesterday, it was doable. Izokage really helped me there when it came into like recording, since he's the one that edited it in Premiere Pro, or I think in Premiere Pro. But yeah, other than that, let's get back to the what if. Naruto would head to the training grounds and wait for the next 2 hours and basically talking with Sasuke about the day earlier. And I know, like, giving Naruto and Sasuke that early friendship is great, since that means Sasuke will get stronger. And Naruto's pretty OP, so I'm trying to compensate Sasuke to be as strong. So basically, after this, Kakashi would pull up and he would explain to them about the bell test, after Sakura basically yelling at him that he was late. Naruto would understand that the test was about teamwork and quickly whisper to Sasuke. Kakashi, not knowing what he was saying due to Naruto's OP abilities, do I even need to explain? Would probably think it was something minuscule and something that was unaffected to the actual bell test. After this, Kakashi would say start, and Sasuke and Naruto would basically still be here while Sakura just dipped. Sakura would see that she's the only one there and basically go back kind of to teamwork, I guess, since she sees her Sasuke Queen standing up to Kakashi Sensei. After this, Sakura basically started throwing some shurikens, since I don't really see her learning any techniques in her childhood, and I'm not really gonna make it seem like that. But don't worry, I'm not gonna like leave her in the dust. But she'll probably get her like her adult Sakura strength at like Shippuden. I think that's pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but having your adult Sakura power level when you're a Shippuden, like that's pretty great. After this, Naruto would basically tell Sasuke to use the most powerful fire jutsu he could ever come up with. Sasuke would put his hands together and do the hand sign for the fireball jutsu, like the one Madara did when he used the fireball jutsu. He would say fire style, majestic destroyer flame. After this, Sasuke would send like a huge flame at Kakashi, and Kakashi would basically switch to quickly go underground. And Naruto would see this, and he would basically he would put his hand, he would put like a Hajime sign up, or I guess that's what you would call it, and he would use blue, or like he would produce positive curse energy flow, I think it is, and use blue out of the limitless techniques. Kakashi would then come flying out of the ground where he underground and basically like land right, like his throat would be catched by Naruto's hand. After this, Naruto would slam him into the ground, and Sasuke, and he would tell Sakura to get the bell swallow. He can't, while like he has a hold on Kakashi, since he wants to make it seem like Sakura actually did something. After this, Sakura would quickly grab the bells and throw one to Sasuke and keep the one for herself. Naruto actually planned this to happen and told Kakashi that like while they backed away, uh, he told Kakashi that they win since this exercise was about teamwork. And Kakashi would say, "What about Sakura? Didn't she keep a bell for herself?" And Naruto would reply saying that he actually predicted that Sakura would do that. So after this, Kakashi would actually compliment Naruto on his intelligence and Sasuke on his mastery over fire jutsu and Sakura's teamwork, and tell her that she needs to learn some techniques and that maybe she has an affinity towards earth and water, or he's just guessing by like sensing her chakra afloat, I guess. After this, they would pretty much wrap up the day, and the 1 month time of D rank missions would pretty much come along, and Naruto would basically learn a certain ability of the limitless technique, where he puts positive and negative curse energy into his technique, which can't really doesn't know what to do, so it'll erase. If you guys actually watch Jujutsu Kaisen, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, then I'll link Rogex's 3 minute explanation of Limitless in the description, so you guys can understand what I'm saying. After this, we'll go to the after the 1 month time skip, where Sasuke after this would have gained the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, since I am not doubting Sasuke's ability to gain the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, while Sakura really started to get into the earth affinity and the water affinity, and started to use her chakra fist pretty much. And yeah, just in general, like the whole team's physical looks got like taller and more muscle, I guess, muscle growth, I guess you could say. After this, they would pretty much Kakashi would tell Hiruzen on these Team 7's progress, and they would be sent on an A rank mission. And this A rank mission would be the bridge builder mission, I guess, escorting Tazuna. And you guys are wondering, wasn't that a C rank mission? It was, but Tazuna, let's just say Tazuna got the money to pay for the A rank mission. Or he asked Hiruzen and he like pitched in with the money. After this, Tazuna would walk in and see that Team 7 actually kind of looks strong, other than the actual canon counterpart. And, he thinks they can actually do it. After this, they would basically head out, and they'd be at the village gates, and they would head out. They would start walking, and Naruto would see the puddle. Sasuke would as well. And Naruto would tell Sasuke to use a lightning jutsu on it, since Sasuke definitely does not have. There's no doubt that Sasuke at least didn't learn any lightning jutsu, And I'm gonna take this technique from the King of Weeps from his like older series. He's gonna use lightning style, lightning stream. I don't know if you guys actually watch King of Weeps, but he uses technique a lot in his what ifs. His older ones, like what if Naruto is betrayed? What if Naruto is adopted by Itachi? You know, those I guess the older generation of his what ifs, I guess. But Sasuke used lightning style, lightning stream, and the lightning would pretty much electrify the demon brothers, basically knocking them out. When Gojo basically, my bad, Naruto would basically just chop their heads off, basically killing them, and, after Sasuke electrified them, pretty much. After this, they would see a blade coming, or they would see a bunny, and then Naruto would tell them to duck, and a blade will come flying through. Naruto would try to, in fact, activate Infinity, but there was something wrong with his curse energy, and he couldn't activate it, basically resulting in him getting sliced. After this, Naruto quickly activated it in time. Like there was something wrong with his curse energy. Like he couldn't activate it for some reason. After this, he would quickly pull it out and start to heal himself. Since I know Gojo has an ability where he can heal himself, he uses positive curse energy into his wound and heals it himself. I don't see him definitely not doing that. And Naruto has Kurama, and definitely they have grown a friendship over time. Naruto would ask Kurama if he can use some of that KCM energy onto his wound. Uh, Kurama wouldn't reject and basically would give him some of that energy, and the wound will heal faster. After this, Naruto would see Zabuza on a tree, and Zabuza would say Kakashi of the Sharingan, and basically say like, "How are you?" And Kakashi, they would just do their introductions with Zabuza basically going to fight Kakashi. Kakashi would be pretty pressed, and after this, he would be trapped in the water prison jutsu. After this, Naruto would get pretty irritated with Zabuza and use his new technique. He would then use red, and then he would activate blue, and he would mix them together, creating purple. He would then send that at Zabuza saying Murasaki. I think that's the actual translation, because I'm not gonna lie, I was watching that What If Naruto was Satoru's reincarnation, and I heard Rogax say Murasaki, so I was like, that must be the translation. But after that, he would say Murasaki, and the technique would get Zabuza, basically erasing him. After this, Naruto would teleport behind Haku's head, behind Haku, basically kill him, like just kill him. I keep saying him. Like I'm just gonna say kill him off, and basically that would be the end of the pretty much the mission. After this, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura would defend Tazuna while they build the bridge. Maybe them helping a little bit by Naruto spamming shadow clones. But other than that, that'll be the end of the Tazuna mission. After this, Naruto would basically give some of that Gato's money when Gato's thugs basically tried to invade, and right before Gato died, Naruto would actually like invade his mind, since most of his abilities are basically invading people's mind, like his domain expansion, or like you sending so much information that you just die from it. After this, Naruto would get information where Gato's stash is, or stash of money is, and he would give most of it to the Land of the Waves, like I say 60%, and he would keep the 40% for themselves. Like they would split it between each other. Kakashi would get 10%, Sasuke would get 10%, Sakura would get 10%, and Naruto would get 10% himself. I know, right? Naruto is getting kind of rich in this. What if? I mean, I don't. I definitely like that. Like a character or like Naruto being rich in the universe itself. Like I like how that goes along pretty well. After that, Naruto and Team 7 would head back to the Leaf Village, and they would pretty much just train. Kakashi would tell him that the Chunin exams would come up, and he knows that they're strong enough. And they would say, yeah, we'll participate. And after this, they would basically train for the 2 weeks, also meeting Kankuro and Shino. Kankuro, Tamari, and Gara, basically telling each other their names. With Gara saying that he wants Naruto's blood and that Mother wants his blood. After this is basically where I'll be leaving it off with part 1 of What If Naruto Had Gojo's Powers. I'll be recording What If Naruto Had the Obi Obi no Mi later today, and I'll have it scheduled maybe 2 days from now. I'll have this What If scheduled for tomorrow, and I'll just probably do that since I don't want to have like 3 videos a day and then not record. I'm just gonna have a schedule of daily What Ifs, or at least try to at least have 3 What Ifs a week from now on. But other than that, this is where I'll be leaving it off. What If Naruto Had Gojo's Powers, Part 1 of What If Naruto Had Gojo's Powers. Other than that, peace out, you lovely fucking specimen. Nah, just kidding. But just peace out, guys.